getting into numbers that we're talking about right now.
Oh, thank you. Because that,
Getting there.
I thought I knew what I was doing, but. I was wrong.
Graph, but identify the slope and y-intercept. So I don't want you to find two distinct points. You could do that, but I'm telling you, you can't. I want it that way. So if we look at that equation, you just got to remember which one's the m, which one's the y-intercept. The m, which is the slope, is the number always with the x. What number's with the x?
3.
3.
The 3. You can, excuse me, you can write it as 3, or you could write it as 3 over 1. I don't care which way. What would be the y-intercept?
The 4. Negative 4.
Now with this one, you could just write y-intercept, because I'm going to already have that there. Y-intercept equals. You can put negative 4, but I'm going to give you a little heads up on the final exam. They don't write it like that. They're going to write it as a point. So you may just want to get in that habit as writing it as a point, because on the final, if you just write y equals negative 4, you'll be like, oh goodness, I don't know what it looks like as a point. So you may want to just get in that habit. The x value is always 0, and then whatever that number is in your equation is your y-intercept. But remember this part, the number with the x is always your slope. Okay, so I'll have you identify that, and then I'll have you graph it. Got my graph paper out.
But isn't slope the same thing as the m would equal 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, to move this. All right, number 10. So I've got m equals 3. And you want your slope to be a fraction, so I'm going to put it as 3 over 1. And how do you have to remember slope? What over what?
Oh, over 1.
Rise over run.
Rise over
Rise over run.
or fall, but this case is the rise. And when you run, which way do you always run for your life?
To the right.
To the right. That's the way you're going to run. And then we said the y-intercept was negative 4. You have to have,
Maybe I missed it. I was graphing, but I got negative 3 for my slope.
from the equation?
Yeah, because, so I did 0 and, what, 0 and 1? Is that?
You're trying to find 2 points. We're just looking at y equals mx plus b.
Oh, I did both. I did establish points in.
So I just wanted to know what that number was for the slope. Okay, you're finding points, but I didn't ask you to do it that way, so you got to make sure you know the difference between the directions. All right, so with 10, you have to have a starting point. Where is your starting point?
0 and 4.
Okay, so I got to start here, and my y-intercept is the one you have to do first. So the little star by that, you got to do that one first. So I've got to go down 4 units and put a dot. From this dot, just keep your pen on it. Look at what your slope is. It tells you to rise 3 and run 1. Once you have your 2 dots, connect them up.
You see, that was like a negative 3 over 1. You will have to keep on going down. So all the way to 7 and then
Over 1.
over 1. Yeah.
But if you're, say you had a negative 3 on top, it would be fall over.
Right.
You'd have to
Fall.
All right, so I guess I got caught up because I thought I knew what I was doing. But didn't. So how did you identify the slope without having a value for y and x?
Okay. Because the formula is y equals mx plus b. M represents the slope. So the number in front of the x is just 3. So that is your slope. And then the b is just the whole number out on the side, which is the negative 4. So I didn't have to do any work. You just have to know that the x, the number with the x is always the slope.
Right. Right. I remember that formula. Okay.
Yeah, we did something like that
And
yesterday.
M is always a fraction.
Yeah, always make m a fraction. Okay? This is the same one. Try number 11. Identify the slope and the y-intercept, then see if you can graph it.